Hi, this is Abhishek Sengupta. Welcome back. Now, we are here with an amazing topic, entrepreneurship and mental health. Now, as we have taken this amazing topic, we have with us someone special, Ivan. Ivan is joining us from Prague, Czech Republic. Honestly, Prague is one of my favorite cities. Prague is the capital city of Czech Republic and is bisected by Vltava River. It is also nicknamed as City of Hundred Spires. It's known for its old town square, the heart of its historical court, and colorful buildings, Gothic churches, and medieval astronomical clock, which gives an animated hourly show. Completed in 1402, pedestrian Charles Bridge is lined with the statues of Catholic saints. Overall, Prague is a wonderful place. Many Indian films were shot there. Now, Ivan is a well-known personal coach. He focuses on mental health, mindset, and achieving goals. He offers some of the finest coaching about mental health. He is doing a lot of good initiatives about mental health through his Instagram account. Many people got benefited from this. Ivan, welcome to our show.
Thank you very much for having me. Hi, everyone.
Right. Ivan, I'm going straight to the topic. Now, mental health. Now, what is mental health? In recent days, mental health awareness program took a lead. Many agencies, both government and non-government, are taking a lead in this step. Being a relatively new concept, we would like to understand this concept. Is it like physical or clinical concept, or is it a concept more of a virtual one? We would like to more about this from you, Ivan. Over to you.
Well, the mental health, it's basically everything. What I would say, like, it's also physical, clinical, and everything combined, because it depends also how we move, what we do, and everything. So, what I think, mental health is very important for us, especially in these kind of in these times, right? So when we do whatever we do, it's it has impact. It has huge impact. And also when we don't focus, when we don't think about our thoughts, when we just use words like that, everything has its impact. So for me, it's like everything combined together. You can't say that it's more like physical or just mental, because it's, as I'm saying, when we don't have right mind, we don't have right physical move movement or
No, I think that's something great you
uh-huh.
have mentioned. That it's a combination of everything. It is not a unique concept like this. It is a clinical concept, it's a physical concept, and it's an everything. And you have rightly pointed out that if our mental health is not proper, obviously our physical health will get impacted, our work life will get impacted, everything will get impacted. So physical health is definitely important, but mental health should be given equal importance. And I have also seen that people are really neglecting mental health. They do a lot of gym work, go to doctor, they do a lot of blood tests and everything. But when it comes to the mental health mapping, people really avoid that. Of course, probably it's because it's more of a new concept, nascent concept probably. And over a period of time, these awareness programs are run by different people. Of course, your work is also quite commendable. People got benefited from this. I have seen a couple of your Instagram videos is about emphasizing the importance of mental health. Now, it takes me to my second point: why entrepreneurs need to talk about mental health. Now, according to a study by National Institute of Mental Health, a lead federal agency of research on mental disorders in United States, 72% of entrepreneurs are directly or indirectly affected by mental health issues as compared to just 48% of non-entrepreneurs. Now, 49% of entrepreneurs deal with mental health issues directly, while only 32% of others experience them. It comes in form of burnout, it comes in form of chronic anxiety, or even insomnia. We would like to know from you, Ivan, why it is important for an entrepreneur to speak about the mental health. Over to you.
Thank you. In my opinion, I would say that it's not only for the entrepreneurs, but also for all humankind. Exactly what you mentioned before, that we didn't take care of our mental health because, as you said, we go to the gym, we exercise, we do everything to keep, or we eat healthy to have our body strong. But what we forget sometimes, to talk to someone or just to write it down to journal. That is one of the best and most powerful things that we can do.
Absolutely.
So this is the thing that we use to help our mental health. And also what you mentioned, that I was giving out the, like, for example, like 5 tips and tricks how to maintain your mental health. What is just a little bit of the just tip of the iceberg, what we can do for our mental health. There's so many things that we can do. So what I would say, we need to the best, and because we are humans, so, and especially the entrepreneurs, because they are under huge pressure. I started business, you do business. It's so many things that we need to do. So sometimes we are like the pressure cooker, right? When we need to a little bit just to press it, to release the pressure, and then we are much in better mind, better mood. We are much more positive then, and much energetic also, because that is a huge topic also. So, or also the other thing, we can slowly burn out. That's I think the most common thing, but especially in 9-to-5 jobs, when we don't do what we like to do. So my conclusion to this would be definitely to talk at least with friends, because we need to put out our emotions. If we don't, it's like the pressure cooker I mentioned. And also with then we are much worse in actions. Our decision making is not the good, because when we do the right decisions, when we are in the good mood, right?
Wow, that's excellent. Excellent. You have rightly mentioned that at times we all become like pressure cookers because first thing first, what you have said that, along with entrepreneurs, everyone should take care of their mental health. But of course, the entrepreneur, this is a different breed, I must say, who take care of everything of business, right from sales, right from probably operations, right from finance, compliance, legal issues, employee-related issues, everything. And of course, that's how we become like a pressure cooker. If we don't release the pressure, and it blows off actually. You have rightly mentioned. Now, this actually takes me to my third point. There is something called psychological price of entrepreneurship. Now, this is an award-winning article in a magazine personal service category in the year 2014 annual award contest of Deadline Club, which is a New York chapter of Society of Professional Journalists. This was published in inc.com and written by an American journalist, Jessica Bruder. Now, the article mentions building a company is not easy, but it's very, very hard and it's very, very brutal. That's the price so many company founders pay. Now, this leads to burnout, this leads to physical ailment, this leads to depression, and so and so. So, Ivan, we would like to understand from you, and if you could enlighten us on this concept, the psychological price of entrepreneurship. Over to you.
It's great bridge between the second point and this third one, right? Because it can gives you the psychological price is huge. As the author of the article said, it's sometimes brutal, because then it can be, as we mentioned, the burnout or the stress or the anxiety or even the depression when it's not going well. And also what comes to my mind is that everyone wants to be the owner, right? Everyone wants to have the huge salary, because when we say the owner, we say, yeah, I'm the CEO of Google, Amazon, whatever. But they don't realize under what kind of pressure they are, the CEOs. So we don't. Some people are just, okay, so I'll go this way, and I don't have to be the owner, because they realize that I don't want to be under this psychological pressure. I don't want to I'm not in the position that I want to be some owner or anything like that. So on the other side, this business that comes with this price, yeah, the price is also the money. And so many people think that is the number one thing, but is it the money or our energy or our mental health? From my perspective, it's definitely my mental health. And compared to also the time that we invest, right? So when we are in 9 to 5 job, it's just 8 hours. But when we are business, when we are entrepreneurs, it's like 24/7 job. It's something that's different thing.
Wow, that's great. That's great. You really made it very, very simple. Psychological price is really something that we all pay. Probably you have rightly said that it's totally different from 9 to 5 job. Okay, it's 9 to 5, that's there. And probably if this is not my forte, you go to this person, his person will take care of. But when we are the business owners or
Exactly.
probably the leading an organization, probably we can't say that everything comes to us only. Probably it's me, it's you, whosoever runs the business. We definitely know that, and of course, it's not a 9 to 5, it's 24 into 7. I remember even taking up the call at 3 o'clock at night because I belong to a I run a travel company. And, because of the time difference, when my people travel there, for example, Western countries like Canada, Western, like Eastern countries like Australia, time difference from India to these countries is quite huge. At times, 3 o'clock, okay, this is the problem which is happening. Can you just sort that out? I can't say it's 3 o'clock at night. Please call me after 6 hours. No, we can't say that. We have to simply pick up the call after they are my clients, they are our customers. So that's the kind of price we all pay. Probably, obviously, you said it leads to depression, it leads to burnout, it leads to at times various physical ailments as well, like lifestyle related disorders are on price, like of course blood pressure going up, then diabetes going up, and a lot of bones related disorders going on. So we can understand that.
Yeah, totally, 100%.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, it takes me to my fourth point, why entrepreneurs are vulnerable to mental health issues. It might seem like it's the same as compared to the previous point, but there is a line of difference. Now, She Leads Africa. This is a well known community for African women. It has published an article explaining 6 reasons that cause mental health issues to an entrepreneur. This involves fear of failure, uncertainty, stress, social isolation, impression management, and inadequate resources. And the last is too much expectation. Now, considering this overall scenario, we would like to understand from you what makes entrepreneurs vulnerable to the mental health issues. As you have rightly said, of course, we run 24 into 7 offices, probably not in the office, but also outside the office. And that's the mental health price what we face. So what are the exact scenario, or what are the exact factors which makes an entrepreneur vulnerable to the mental health issues? Over to you, Ivan.
The huge vulnerability is definitely the stress that we are under. That we want to have huge results. We want to achieve everything immediately, right? So I think the time is a huge enemy of the entrepreneurs, and also because what we do, we overthink what we can do in the in the long term, but we underthink what we can do in the short term.
Mhm.
So I think that's big one. And also what the author mentioned, that we have huge expectations from us. Yeah, we have, and also this one is a huge enemy of the execution. So if we want to execute, if we want to give it out, we need to think about it. We need to go through. We need to have the plan, the strategy, and then we can move forward. Also, what is big for us, though, being the overwhelmed, burnout, repeating, and especially for the entrepreneurs, repeating the same mistakes again, and expecting the same results. That's the it's not coming together like how we can expect it. So this is what also the entrepreneur needs to be very thoughtful of, that when I do so, it's great to make mistakes. It's amazing. But we need to think about it. Okay, I made a mistake. What can I do better now? What can I do better in the future? What can I do better then? And then this all the stress and everything that comes together, that we are vulnerable, then it goes away. Also, what we are vulnerable with us, with only us, because when I think about myself in the past, when I needed to, when I wanted to post a picture or anything like that, so I had to put myself on the socials. That was huge for me because what is the thing that we are thinking the most? Oh, what is this guy from the high school is going to think about me? What my friend is going to think about me? Oh my God, I'm so afraid because we're again, people don't care. People just, or if people care, they'll write you feedback. Yeah, you did this, probably you can do this better. So the proper feedback, not the feedback that some people are expecting to have, that kind of feedback. Ah, you are bad. Ah, you make mistake in that video. Ah, your pronunciation is not good. What is the kind of feedback? So these people don't care. These just want to hate. These just want to gossip. These are those toxic people. But on the other side, when we have the people who care, they'll write us good feedback. They'll help us. Who is the, and when we are talking about entrepreneurs, what is the best friend? When you release a service, when you release a product, the best friend will buy it and don't asking for the discount. So I think the whole vulnerability is about, especially about us, putting us out there, and just don't think about what other people think of us, because that's probably one of other most important things that we can do.
Wow, that's excellent, Ivan. You have rightly pointed out certain topics. First and foremost is definitely the impression management. You said what others think of us. We think too much of that. Probably at times, after some time, they probably even doesn't care what we do. But if we, in
Yeah,
order to make our impression good in front, we do a lot of things. At times, we take a lot of stress. At times, we do a lot of unfair things which we should not have done. This is one aspect. With impression management is good, is bad, but we have to somehow balance it. It should not be like I can be a good boy every time, everywhere. It's not that. We do make mistakes, as you have rightly pointed out. But of course, every time we make mistakes, we have to learn from our mistakes, that what we can do better next time, so that this kind of mistakes do not happen. This is definitely a very good pointer which you have given. Secondly, what I just learned from you is that uh, whenever we are going socials and everything, because social media at times it is said it create a lot of stress. In the real and real life, there is always a difference between them. In the real life, we will always project ourselves that okay, we are good, we are having so much success, but in the real time we might suffer, we might have a hard time and everything. And seeing those some other people, the third person might come up, see, this person is doing so good and not doing that good, and I'm having a lot of mental pressure, I'm getting into depression and everything.
yeah.
So this is there. This is absolutely there. But you have rightly pointed out many points. I'm sure people would definitely benefit whatever you have said. Now, I'm going to the fifth point. Now, pandemic, mental health and pandemic. Now, COVID-19 pandemic and the resulting economic recession, or probably economic shrinking, what we can say, have negatively impacted many people's mental health. Now, American Academy of Child, Adolescent Psychiatry and Children's Hospital Association have declared a national emergency in children's mental health, citing the serious toll of COVID-19 pandemic on top of the existing challenges. Now, COVID-19 pandemic has brought unprecedented focus on mental health and giving it a lot of stress. Now, anxiety and social isolation because of the worldwide lockdown, which we have seen, has resulted into a lot of mental stress. Now, startup founders face even more challenging situation, predominantly due to their inability to deal with failure as a natural part of their learning curve. Elon Musk once tweeted the following about entrepreneurs' life. Now, reality is great highs and terrible lows and unrelenting stress. Now, don't think people want to hear about last two. Now, because of this pandemic, we started talking more about the last two factors, that is terrible low and unrelenting stress. Now, we would like to know from you your opinion about this.
My opinion on pandemic, oh my God.
Not on
uh,
pandemic, probably the mental
yeah,
health issue created by the pandemic.
I understand. I just need to make a little bit of fun of it, you
Oh,
know.
absolutely.
I'm not saying it's something for that we can make fun of. Definitely not. I take it seriously as we should be taking it seriously. So, but what I think, and also this comes to with this topic, we need to adjust. That's the first point to this topic, that we need to adjust to this situation, because everyone expecting new you, and new time, when it's going to be back, when it's going to be back to the normal life. There's not going to be never back to the normal life, because then we will live in the past. We need to live here in the present and focus on these goals that we have. That's right. But would you like to go back to the past? I wouldn't, because we, as also as Elon said, we're learning from the past. We're learning, we're making mistakes. That's all about. We're having some failures, some lows, because what is the growth? The growth is like the sinusoid. It goes up, 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 then little bit down, then up, 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 again little down. And this pandemic was huge down. That was, I think, the one of the biggest tests for us as a whole society, how we deal with it. There is definitely huge things, huge bad things that happen. Yeah, I understand. I'm very sorry for that, and I feel it. But we need to move forward. So then we need to move from this down, as we bounced from this down last year, when we know that all stocks went down like crazy. Then now it's again back to that. So that is basically what we should do also, what we can learn from. And staying at home, this was also, this is the second part, staying at home, learning how to work from home, especially to create the environment that we can perform much sometimes better than at work. Well, sometimes better also in the a little bit worst case scenario, because we are at all the time on the computer, so we are all the time reachable. We don't go for coffee with the colleagues. When I'm talking about those entrepreneurs, the people who are in the office with people, right? So we don't go for coffee so much, or we don't talk so much, so we work much more. What I think is also good, but also but then we need to think about the work-life balance, when we need to just, okay, now I have lunch, turn off the computer, I'm going to have lunch with myself, with my friends, with my family, with whoever I am. So just disconnect and be there. That was the basically the same with the working out. It was my case also. I was I before I wasn't that into workout. So I don't want to say lazy, but I didn't want to go to the gym because I wasn't that kind of person. Then later I found what fulfills me in the working out activity. What is the interval training sessions that you do? You have few stations, and then you workout, pause, workout, pause, workout, pause, and go into the circle line. So this was huge for me to find it, and also the boxing, amazing. And but what I want to get to, the working out is very beneficial for the mental health, especially when we are at home. Yeah, when was the lockdown and everything was closed, what was what we could do? Basically nothing, only work out at home, or running, some jogging, something outside. But even this, when we go outside just for a walk, that's also the workout. When we do those 10K steps, that is the big, that we burn the calories, and we feel much better, much more refreshed. And also going to the sun. So the vitamin D, super important. So many people don't have the right amount of vitamin D. So I think this is the main topic between the mental health and the pandemic. And now, gladly, we're going back. We're going to the offices. So we are going to socialize again. We started to socialize. I'm so happy that I can see the full stadiums, for example, because I'm huge sports fan. I work with the athletes, and I'm so happy that I can see the full stadiums and people cheering together, that energy, that everything comes together. It's so amazing to see.
Wow, that's great. You have rightly pointed out because pandemic is something we cannot go back to our past. So whatever we had, of course, there are a lot of bad news in pandemic. Many people lost job, many people lost their lives, and many struggled. Many had their, hospitalized rather. But of course, one thing which we have to accept it definitely, rather than thinking, oh, this is prior to that, this wasn't the case, and now again, how can we go back? We cannot live in past. So we have to accept whatever is there. Probably some of the good things which has come up is that we started working online. A lot of the things instead, meetings started happening. We connected with a lot of other people in the different part of the world instead of directly meeting them. That is one part of that definitely. And you have likely pointed out, instead of just being at home and getting depressed, you should do something enthusiastic. Definitely, why don't we exercise at home? Definitely, we can do a lot of aerobic exercise at home. We can go for jogging, and this will also help in maintaining our right mental health. And of course, you said the vitamin D, because a lot of people in this world do not have the right, right amount of vitamin D. It's actually becoming a pandemic. It's said more than 30-40% of the people across the globe have got deficiency of vitamin D. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's it's much higher than pandemic. But of course, that's not that critical, or that's not that serious as of now. But yes,
Yeah.
we have to accept what is happening. We have to definitely think of how to face that time properly instead of getting depressed. We have facing the adversity is more important. The mindset of facing the adversity is more important than the adversity itself. So it's a very
Exactly.
good thing which we got from you. Now it takes me to my next point, that is mental health and the performance. It is said that good mental health is important for business growth and overall success. A person can take better decisions and perform well if he or she is in a best of the mental health. Could you please help us understand this concept in a better way, how mental health and performance are related to each other?
It's very much connected. It's when we are not in the good, as I mentioned before, when we are not in the good mood, we can't perform well. And especially what I like to compare to, for example, when we have the Formula One car, the one of the best cars, one of the best cars, technology driven, and everything all together. How we want to get the best from the Formula One car when we don't fuel it with the proper fuel, when we don't take care of it, and also when we don't prepare the car for the race. Usually, I think it's around 1 hour that it needs to, the preparation needs to warm up, it needs to adjust all the systems because there is only 1 millimeter change, makes huge difference. And also, as Tony Robbins says, we need to do 2 millimeters change in us, in our mindset, and 2 millimeters change now will make so many. There will be huge difference in the future. And also, when we think about when you do 0.99, when you take it to the 365, or 1.01. So if we do that 1% more to the 365, you'll see the huge difference in over the year. So this is the performance, and also when we want to be in great shape, so we need to especially focus on three things: the body, the language, and the focus. So the physiology, what is our physiology? Are we walking like this, or we're walking straight? Then it goes equal to the language we use. I'm able to do it, I will do it, I'm doing it, or I'm not sure, I tried. If you tried, what will happen? Or so many people, yeah, I tried it. And then when you ask them, have you tried everything? They say yes. Wait a second. When you tried everything, how it's possible that you haven't accomplished it? Because there are people in front of you that they've tried and they accomplished it. So we need to just take the pattern and we can do it. So, and when I take it to the third point, the focus, when we are in the right mood, when we using the right words, the right self-talk, our focus, where the energy goes, the focus flows. Where the focus goes, energy flows. So that's very important also. Then when we are in the good mood, everything is right, we can do the huge performance. We are capable of that, and I know that we are capable of that. That's only about the self-talk, about the people who need a little push. You can do it. Just do it. So performance is very important, and I know that everyone can do it. As so many people would like to say, when I did it, everyone can do it, and that's true because we are all the same. So, to conclusion to the performance, when we also fuel our body, what we need to, how we need to, when we are using the right nutrition, then our body can work, and then we are not tired, or when we are tired. So, just quick coaching. Why am I tired? What have I done? Or was I eating something that that it didn't go well with my body? Okay, so that's why I'm tired. That's why I can't make these calls today. That's why my performance is like 80%. So I would say this is the main topic about the performance. Just think about us, what we do, how we feel, how we treat our body, our mind, and the spirit.
That's great, Ivan. That's great. I really liked your comparison between mental health and the Formula One F1 racing. Like, it's 1 millimeter change can do a lot of change, can bring a lot of change across. So, like if you do a 1 millimeter change in our mental health, in our mindset, probably we can have a lot of good impacts in our life, professionally as well as
Yeah,
personally. And secondly, you have rightly said that whatever we consume, we put that as well. If you are consuming good food, our body does well. So if you are consuming good thoughts, motivating thoughts, positive thoughts, so obviously our mental health and our thinking process will improve. And once our mental health improves, our attentiveness goes up, our efficiency goes up, our positive mindset becomes an asset for us, so etc etc. So that's what there is a deep link between the mental health and the performance. It includes both personal life, also in the professional life, right?
exactly.
Now, it takes me to the next point: the best mental practices for an entrepreneur. Now, in addition to the stress of pandemic, entrepreneurs are likely to experience stress as venture initiators, then grappling with uncertainty and becoming responsible and liable for any decisions they make for their company. Now, first time entrepreneur can really struggle with self-confidence, probably with every kind of things they do. To know about the starting a new business, failure is also an option over here because everything cannot succeed. Now, virtually all successful entrepreneurs have failed many times. It's a part of the process. Now, while going through the positive process, one has to take care of the mental health. Could you please let us know some best mental health practices for an entrepreneur? Over to you.
So how much time do we have?
Probably we
Because
can go on for another
yeah,
10 minutes, probably. It's okay.
or we will need more time if
Oh my God. I understand. I understand.
so just to tell it briefly, there is so many great tactics, so many great strategies that we can do. Uh, as you said, the when we have huge uncertainty, that's one of our human needs, that we are driven by different kind of needs. Certainty on the other side, uncertainty, and much more. And with the uncertainty, comes the anxiety, comes the depression or stress or anything like that. What I like to do about the stress, when we are under the stress, you can try it also. So when we close our eyes and when we think about counting to 4, the inhale to 4, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds, and hold for 4 seconds. So basically we are creating this box. That's why it's called box breathing. So we inhale 4 seconds, hold 4 seconds, exhale 4 seconds, inhale 4 seconds. And we are creating this box in our mind. So that means also that our thoughts and our brain is occupied with creating this visualization. So that means that, because as also Andrew Huberman says, the great neuropsychologist, that we can't think of 2 thoughts at the same time. We can think only at once. So that means that we occupy our brain. That is the best thing about the mental health and the coaching and everything. When we know the hacks, so when we know how to hack our body, also with biohacking and everything, so that's amazing and how we can use it to trick our brain, because we know the brain is here to make us survive. The brain is here for million years. The brain was here to get a food, get warm, and sleep, basically, because that's huge. That's very important for the mental health also. That means we need to let us trick our brain. So to calm ourselves, to create this, when I'm talking about this box breathing, and then I guarantee you, after even 1 minute, you're much more calm. Your thinking is much different, and do it in a nice environment. Don't probably when you are in the when you are in the state of the monk, you can do it on Times Square. It doesn't matter where, or somewhere in the crossroad. But usually for us, when we starting with this, it's good to do it on the quiet place. This I'll bridge it into the visualization. That is one of the best also, how to visualize our process, how to visualize what we want to achieve. When we have, so for example, I want to sign this client, I'll go to launch new program or new product or anything, or even for myself, it doesn't have to be connected to the business. So for example, I have great relationships, or it doesn't matter basically. So you visualize that, what you want to achieve. That's basically the same thing with the vision boards. But vision boards are here, physical. Then we bring the vision board into our head. And then we're programming our brain to what we would like to have. Also, it's good to go. It's fine to go through a little bit also what can happen if it's not going well. For example, what if this client says no? What worse can happen? No, nothing. I'll move forward. It was great learning because that client gave you definitely something. The client was arguing, but in good way. It was just the discussion, but he said something that, okay, I can take this to my business. I can make it better. Thank you for that, and move forward. Then, for example, for the self-confidence, what comes to my mind, there's also great TED talk on this, on the power postures from Amy Cuddy. When you Google power poses, power postures, TED talk, or Amy Cuddy, AMYCUDDY, she's amazing. She's talking about the power postures, for example, like the position of the Superman, or like the Wonder Woman when they stay like this, because it's different. It's also different for the woman and for the man, because the woman, they have the feminine energy, and the man has the masculine energy. So it would be, well, if the woman needs to do some huge decision, she can use a little bit of masculinity, because we are all mixed with the feminine and masculine. It's not like I'm man, so I have the 100% masculinity, right? It's not like that. We're all balanced somehow. Some people have more masculine, some people have more feminine. So these power postures are great when you're going for and also for students when they're going to the exam, just to boost their confidence. And also from my experience, when I was before the exam, I went to the toilet at school. I was looking in myself in front of the mirror. I did the I did the Superman pose, or I did some walk that boosts me, because we need to find then whatever we like to do, whatever boosts us. So then when you do it, you are much more confident. You go to that exam, you nail the exam, everything goes well, and then okay, whoa, that works. So how it's possible that it worked? So this would be the just to don't take it so long. And what you said, that the fail is needed. What we're talking about the different about the some time ago, that it's so needed, that the fail, as I mentioned with the Elon Musk and everything, life is the sinusoid. So it goes up and down, up and down, up and down. When we have the proper why, then we know. Then if we fail, we just move. We just move forward. It doesn't matter. And then also, as I said, with that visualization, when you think about the worst case scenario, so you are not afraid of it anymore. The fear is a huge enemy also, with expectations, with everything, and it's all combined. It's hard to say, it's hard to tell here everything all together how it's connected, but it's all connected. uh, so that would be it. And also one thing for our ego, if you enter the room and you think you are the smartest room, you are not in the right room, right? So just to lower our ego, and also appreciate others, be grateful for others and everything.
That's amazing. Probably I learned a lot of things from you, one after one, probably. Okay, I have just noted a few of the points, whatever exactly you just said. First is definitely the breathing exercise, what you have said. This, at times, this breathing exercise calms down. This makes me, this reminds me of, there is an ancient Indian technique of yoga. Yoga is an ancient Indian technique. Yoga nowadays is a worldwide phenomenon. A lot of people do yoga. This yoga has got some of the amazing way by which you can calm our mind. We can come out of depression. We can increase our positive energy on this. The breathing technique, what yoga says, there is a Sanskrit term to, Sanskrit is again an ancient Indian language, it's no longer in use. So that's called pranayam. Pranayam is
Yeah.
it consists of a lot of breathing techniques. Probably there are hundreds of types of pranayam. Even I do a lot of kind of yogic breathing techniques every day to pacify myself, to face the different situations goes on. So this really works. In fact, for me, it really worked. But again, if it worked with me, it will work with many of the people, definitely.
Exactly.
Exactly. Now, second thing, what you have said is that, drawing a picture of what exactly we are going to do. If we are going to go for a presentation, we can think of that presentation. So that makes us aware, or that makes us acquainted with the situation, so that, mentally we are prepared, and mentally we are better placed to face that situation. So recently I read a book called, by the name of that, uh, The Power of Subconscious Mind. This was written by Dr. Joseph Murphy, and this gave a lot of techniques to boost the subconscious mind. And the technique which you just said, that visualization technique, that was also one of the techniques mentioned there. And the best technique which I liked in that book, auto suggestion. If you are feeling nervous going there, and you start repeating inside your brain that, okay, I'm calm and quiet, I'm calm and quiet, I'm calm and quiet, and with this, the positive energy starts flowing. And this is called the method of auto suggestion. And third thing, what you have rightly said, that, at times we need to give it a break. Definitely, whatever be there, let it be, sleep or whatever you do, let's give it a break. The things will keep on going, because if we don't do this today, tomorrow's sun is definitely going to come out, the night is going to end, world will not stop. So somehow we need to take a break. That's again a very good mental practice, the break, or getting sabbatical. I mean, let's take this away. Sabbatical and vacation is also very important. Sleeping is important, so this gives a break from the much needed hectic work. We are having a hectic day, we get up in the morning, go for exercise, gym, probably go to bed, come back home, face traffic every day. It's there, and then let's for some time, let's cut it off. Okay, whatever happens, let's cut it off for a few hours, few days, and that's how we rejuvenate. Our brain rejuvenates, and this helps us to deal with the situation in a better way. So a lot of good things we
Exactly.
learn.
And
Yes, please carry on,
so
please.
sorry to interrupt you. Exactly. Also what you mentioned, the yoga, that comes to my mind also to the point when we were talking about the pandemic. I'm so happy that so many people got into the yoga because, as you said, there's hundreds of breathing techniques, also with the one nose, the second nose, and also with the when you're breathing in with the right one, breathing out with the left one, and so many different ones. And the yoga is so amazing. I don't do it yet. I'm getting into on that path because it's super uh, challenging because especially for not that flexible people. But it's amazing just to try, just to see, and then what is happening with your body because you're releasing these amazing endorphins and dopamines and everything, all the happy hormones, and it's such a great exercise.
Absolutely. 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 You're right. And one more thing you have rightly mentioned, that, life is not going straight like that. It goes up, it comes down. Again, it goes up, it comes down. It was rightly mentioned in the book called Peaks and Valleys by Spencer Johnson. So life is all about peak. If you climb to the peak, you have to come down to the valley. Again, from the valley, you have to climb to the peak. So it's indispensable. It's not that you can't only remain in peak. You have to come down to valley. And of course, once you are down at the valley, whole life you are not going to remain in the valley. You have to again go to the peak. So this up and down situation that goes on and on. So that's what life is all about. It's something like
Yeah,
ECG curve, that electrocardiograph curve. It goes up and down, up and down. If it stands still, that means the person is dead.
exactly. It's like that. If you don't grow, you die.
You die. Absolutely. Absolutely. So this was a wonderful session with you, Ivan. Ivan, any closing remarks would you like to give?
Thank you very much for having me. It was great. This was my first interview as a guest, so I'm so blessed. Thank you very much. I appreciate it and so grateful. Uh, I'm coming up with the new exciting projects, with the coaching projects, with the one-on-one coaching and the coaching for students and also for the adults or businessmen and business people in general. So it's going to be awesome. If you like to know about everything, what I mentioned, what we were discussing, some tips, just let me know. I'm on the Instagram, Facebook coaching IP. Like, so I'll be happy to help.
Absolutely. So if any of you would like to connect with Ivan for some of the amazing coaching techniques, mental health suggestions, etc., etc., I'll give the link in this video using which you can connect with him, and I'm sure all of you will get benefited with his guidance, with his coaching. So we have to call it a day for the time being. Of course, this discussion goes on. It's amazing discussion. I really want to carry it further, but of course, we have to take care of our time. Of course, Ivan's time as well, because he is more busy than myself. So, to my Apple
We are all busy.
absolutely, absolutely. If you have any question, please write in the comment box below. I'll try and answer this as soon as possible. I'll be back with many such episodes. Till then, stay tuned, stay connected, have a great day, and thank you, Ivan, for joining us.
Thank you very much. Bye bye. Have a great day.
Have a great day, you too.